Hello, everybody. I'm back. Thank you for clicking on the next video. When we left off, I had modeled how to break down a prompt using an SAT prompt, and now what you're going to do is break down a prompt that is the prompt that you were given. So for this part, I want you to do it. We're going to come to class tomorrow, if you're in period 1, and talk about how you did it. And you're going to bring this graphic organizer with you. It's on Google Classroom. This is one of the artifacts that's going to show me you listened to the video and that you prepared for today's lesson, because we're going to keep moving. So you are going to fill out this graphic organizer similar to how I was completing the prompt when I was modeling for you. You're going to read the prompt. You can text code, so circling, underlining, boxing, double underlining, putting notes, putting stars, however it makes sense for you. And then over here, please somehow note what you did. So like box equals important verb, or a circle equals hint, or underlining is a topic that I need to write about. Or in this Your Notes section, you can rewrite some of the sentences in your own words. So either summarize what it's saying or explain what your text coding, your annotations mean in the Your Notes section. Your strategies means that you are going to tell me what you were doing when you were breaking down the prompt. So for example, when I was breaking down my prompt, I identified important verbs by boxing them. I ignored words and phrases that were not going to be important for me. For some people, that might mean crossing out words on your prompt. I starred things to come back later to. I might not need some information in the prompt right away. And I circled hints, things that are going to give me information about length, or about who, what, when, where, why, how, kind of what the action is that I'm going to be doing. And then I underlined what I'm going to be doing. So the box was boxing what verb I was going to use, and I was underlining what I was going to do with that verb. And then maybe your strategy was just to rewrite. So my strategy here was to summarize. I rewrote the first sentence in my own words. If you were me, you text coded according to certain rules. You can put that in your strategies. You might have ignored some things. You can write that down in your strategies. Or you reworded something in a way that made sense to you. You can put that in your strategies. So tell me what you did in the left in order to understand the prompt. In class, we talked about one additional strategy that a peer used, because we're going to be talking about this in class. And I want you to just keep that blank for right now, because we are going to talk in class about what did you do to make sense of this prompt. If you didn't already reword the prompt, try doing it at the bottom. Show me that you know what you're supposed to be doing when you're writing this essay. Don't oversimplify, because a lot of these words are important about what you're supposed to be doing. But if the effect of surprise, or how an author structured the text, manipulates the pacing, or builds suspense, are not words that you would usually use, try using an alternative. Some words might be very important, but if you can find a better way of saying it that makes sense to you, put it down below. Next, we're going to talk about annotating the text. All right, so I hope I'm on the right tab right now. I'm going to show you how to annotate, how I would annotate if I was annotating part of this text. So we're going back to the story, The Interlopers, the same thing that you read for your SLO. And we're going to go back just to this first little section, and I'm going to show you how I would do it if I were annotating. So in a forest of mixed growth, somewhere on the eastern spurs of the Carpathians. All right away, I've got a lot of thoughts. So first, mixed growth here. See if I can highlight this for you. Mixed growth, I think, is just another word for like different things growing. So in a forest where different things grow, Okay, that seems like a really minor detail that's not necessarily important right now. Somewhere on the eastern spurs of the Carpathians. Now, spurs, I'm not really sure how it's being used here. I know that spurs is a team or that it's the little thing at the end of a cowboy boot. I'm guessing it's like something that shoots off of the Carpathians, but I don't know about you all. I'm not very good at geography. I don't know where the Carpathians is. Hopefully that's not important. But in my notes on this side, sorry, my mouse is very hard to control. In my notes, I'm going to put, what are the Carpathians? Maybe I can look that up later or Google it. I also had the note that mixed growth is essentially like different things growing. I can put shorthand here. I might not have even put that note down because I think that that's how unimportant the detail is. So somewhere in the Carpathians, a man stood one winter night watching and listening as though he waited for some beast of the woods to come within the range of his vision. I'm stopping because there's a comma here. It's like a good breath break and a good chance for me to stop and think about what's been happening. So beast of the woods, it sounds like just like animals. I don't know. Beast makes it sound like they're menacing animals, but more or less animals. So he waited for some animal to come within the range of his vision and later of his rifle. So I know rifle's a hunting weapon. So it seems like he's like waiting. He's waiting for to see an animal and shoot it. I'm going to put a question mark because if it's in range of his rifle, it seems like he would shoot it, but that's kind of an inference on my part. But the game for whose presence he kept so keen, okay. Now, game is usually used to mean like Twister or online games, but here, just from background knowledge, I know that game is like an animal that you hunt, and I can kind of see that it's talking about whatever he was talking about in the last sentence, which was beast of the woods. So the beast of the woods, or the animal, for whose presence he kept so keen an outlook. So presence is like attendance. When we're present, we're here. Attendance. And keen an outlook. I know, again, from background knowledge, maybe this is something you can look up. If not, you can put a question mark by it, but I know that keen means sharp. If I didn't, then I would just put a question mark there. And outlook. And then outlook is, let's see, an eye out for. So, but the animal for whose attendance he kept so sharp an eye out for, so the animal that he was really looking out for, was none that figured in the sportsman calendar as lawful and proper for the chase. I'm not really sure what a sportsman's calendar is, but it seems like it's not an animal that's lawful and proper to chase or to like hunt. Lawful and proper, like maybe it's not okay, like not okay to hunt. Like maybe not even legal, like illegal to hunt. So he's looking for something that's illegal or not okay. Ulrich von Grodwitz patrolled the dark forest in quest of a human enemy. So it looks like OMG is the animal. He's hunting a person. I'm going to extend this for you. So he looks like our main character is out keeping an eye on the Carpathians for a person who is interested in hunting. He has a rifle. So right away, we've got a lot of action happening. So that's what you're going to do in my notes. Just write down whatever you're thinking. If you want to put notes in the text, that's okay too. But I really like writing some questions down and some summaries down. So in the My Strategy section, you're going to write down what did you do when you were writing your notes. Like I rephrased some things like mixed growth right away. I rephrased some words that were awkwardly phrased or really old-fashioned. Again, my timer is coming up. I have 30 more seconds. If this video cuts off, please look for the next video. I asked a question. Again, I rephrased. I asked another question. I used some background knowledge to define some words that I didn't know. And then I